It truly lifts my spirits in the way that you're honoring me. Now in the United States, as some of you might hear or read, sometimes the police are made not to be valued, but you all honor me by the way you welcome me, and I thank you for that. I really do from the bottom of my heart. I'm humbled and honored when Tika asked me to come and speak to the Bhutanese community at Harrisburg for your 4th anniversary program. It is a great honor for me. It's a privilege to be able to speak with all of you, to take some time to meet some new people and make friends. I really deeply appreciate your invitation here. I also want to take some time to thank Tika, who's my good friend. Tika and I have become friends as a result of him being a part of our first ever in Dauphin County Police Community Advisory Council. I got introduced to Tika by Tiffany Lawson, who was here. She suggested that Tika would be somebody to represent your community. And I can tell you that he has represented your community, and I know he will continue to do so with great pride and honor. And I appreciate him, and I appreciate the work that he's doing on all of your behalf. If you stop and think about it, your community is part of our history now in Dauphin County. We've never had a police community advisory council. And your community has a member on it, the very first one. So your community is now making history in the Harrisburg area. And that, I think, you should all be very happy for. I've learned a great deal just listening today to the speakers, but I've learned a great deal from Tika about your community and the difficult journey that many of you have made, all of you have made, coming here to the United States. Tika explained to me about having been removed from your countries, having stayed in refugee camp in Bhutan, and how you came to the United States. And I have respect for all of you for that you've come here a long way away from your homes to make a new home. And we want to welcome you on behalf of all the police departments here in Dauphin County. We want to welcome you, express to each of you that we're here to serve you and to protect you. And I'm hoping that as you've begun to live here, that you're learning that American police are not like the police that you have all experienced in your country and also in Nepal. Our U.S. Constitution guarantees all citizens and guests of our country certain inalienable rights. And those rights are the rights to life, to have your life, liberty, freedom, and the pursuit of happiness. And I'm hoping that all of you are starting to enjoy those things that have been afforded all of us so many years ago by the founding fathers of our country. It's the job of the police to support and defend our Constitution and to make sure that the rights and the freedoms, these rights and freedoms that I just spoke about, are protected, that they're cherished. Our job is to ensure that there's equal protection under the law. You see, in the United States, we're a nation of laws, not men. Yes, men carry out and enforce the law, but the law is our guide. It guides us, and it ensures each of us fair treatment. No person in this country is to be above the law. We're all under the law and its authority, including me. So I'd like to speak to all of you about this solemn vow that we've made to all of you and the trust that you've placed in us Because each police officer in this country, when I hire a police officer, has to swear an oath to faithfully support and defend the United States Constitution, the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and our local laws that we enforce. Our oath is our word to do our duty for all of our citizens and guests. Our government has empowered us, given us special authority, and placed it in each person. Each person then places that trust in us, that we will faithfully do our jobs and treat everybody with fairness under the law. I don't know if many of you have heard of a person by the name of Sir Robert Peel. Sir Robert Peel lived in Great Britain, in England, in the 1800s. And he's considered the father of modern policing. And he said many great things. He wrote many great things about policing that still apply today, I believe. And he wrote about the subject of the relationship between the public and the police, and how this trust translates to service. And he wrote these words: "The police are to maintain at all times a relationship with the public that gives reality to the historic tradition that the police are the public and the public are the police. The police being the only members of the public who are paid to give full-time attention to duties which are incumbent upon every citizen in the interests of community welfare and existence." And if this is true, and I believe that it is, then police, as representatives from the public, are entrusted with a special responsibility of giving full-time attention to the community welfare, to people. We serve people. We serve human beings. And because we serve human beings and people, there's a unity. There's this idea of unity with the public, with people, with human beings, unity of our purpose. As I explained earlier, what our purpose is: to defend and support our Constitution and uphold our laws. And then unity with one another, it's critical to our service. So unity, think of unity as our foundation, and it's got to follow that. It's our priority. So the best way that I can explain what unity is to use an example. And the example I would use, think of our communities and the people that make up our communities in the context of the human body. Many parts make up our human body, right? Our hair, our eyes, our hands, our feet. Just as likewise, many individuals make up the parts of our community. Each person makes a part of our community. And like the human body, each individual member of our community, including each of you, is vital and important to the workings of our whole community. No one member is more important than another. All have value. But each has value to make the community function as a whole. If we were to lose a part, or a part was functioning outside of its purpose, then our entire community would suffer, wouldn't it? We would have inefficiency, we'd have dysfunction, just as if I lost my hand or an eye, my body wouldn't be able to function as properly as it was meant to be, and some other part would have to take up the slack. That's why each of you are important. Each person here in our community is important to the success of our city, our county here in Dauphin County, our state, the state of Pennsylvania, and our nation, the United States of America. Each person has something to contribute, something that they bring that's special for all of us. And to that extent that we all must abide, as one of our other speakers said, to the laws of our city and state and our nation. That's going to determine how successful we are as a people, how we relate to each other, and how we get along with each other peacefully. If each person in our community knows and understands that, then we're all going to be united in our commitment to serve other people's needs. And in order to serve other people's needs, we've got to put their interests before ours. And that's the essence of selfless service. That's what police officers are striving to do. To serve, to place others' interests above their own, to serve all of you. Many, many police officers in our nation's history, since our Constitution was founded, have died